Hello, everyone, and welcome to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the review of the horror comedy Forbidden Fruits, which stars Lili Reinhardt, Lola Tong, Victoria Padrete, and Alexandria Shipp. In this film, Free Eden employee Apple secretly runs a witchy cult in the basement of a mall store after hours. When a new hire challenged their performative sisterhood, the women are forced to face their own poisons and succumb to a bloody fate. This film jumped on my radar. I saw the trailer when I went to see, can't remember which film. I had it on the tip of my tongue. Now I don't remember. Seen so many this year so far. But this trailer kind of grabbed me because I was looking at it as a kind of a updated 2026 version of The Craft. You know, I'm thinking it's something like that from the 90s. And I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. I'm a horror nut. Maybe this will be the surprise gem of 2026. You know, every year you get a surprise horror film that comes out of nowhere and shocks the world. Maybe we get a chance with this one. You have Diablo Cody producing this film. Maybe she can rub a little magic on it, even though her past films haven't been the greatest of things, but I'm willing to give it a shot. It's, I was very disappointed by Forbidden Fruits. Forbidden Fruits tried to be more than what it needed to be. This is based off of a stage play of the woman come the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. I've never seen that play, never heard of that play, and maybe it plays better on stage, because it definitely didn't work on film. I just did not connect with this movie at all. Now, granted, I'm not a woman, so maybe it plays better for women, and maybe that's the demographic they're aiming for. But even with films like that, a male, a male would recognize that and enjoy it. I've seen women empower movies before and enjoyed them. I'm not against all that. So it should appeal to men in some way, but this doesn't work. This movie is a mess. It's all over the place. It tries to be deep and philosophical at moments, and then it tries to be a comedy at moments, then it tries to be a horror at the end, and it's too much going on. It's not well crafted, no pun intended. It is a mess of a movie, and I hate to poo-poo on this film like this because it is an independent film. It's a small film, and as much as I review and enjoy and seek out the big blockbuster, big wide release films, I champion independent films because you need that. You need a change of pace every now and then. You need the small stories to be told. Sometimes big stories to be told on a small stage. And that's what independent films are for. And you find a lot of gems in independent filmmaking. And I want that. I love that. I enjoy that. That's part of the reason why I seeked this movie out. But this didn't work. And I wanted it to. I really wanted this to work, because you had some really good young actresses in this film, and they had absolutely nothing to do, with the exception of the lead here, Lili Reinhardt, who I think gave the best performance in the film. And to be honest with you, this is my first time sitting down watching Lili Reinhardt in anything. I didn't watch Riverdale, and I don't recall any other films. She's done films, but nothing that I've watched. And so this was my first time sitting down watching her, and I enjoyed her. I really did enjoy her in this movie. The one shining light here. Everybody else was just wasted, because all the other young actresses in this film are really good actresses. Seen them in a lot of things and enjoyed them in most of them. And so I can honestly say it's not them. It has to be what was on the page, what they had to work with here, and it wasn't much. The sad part about it is that there was something there. There's something in this script that is intriguing. They had a nice story in there, but they didn't go that direction. They went the complete opposite direction, where they had this subplot, which should have been the main plot, but they had a subplot with two of our characters between Apple and Pumpkin, that they could have really flushed out more and gave us a lot more story. And the movie would have been 10 times better. But we didn't get that till literally the last 5 minutes of the film. And it was just boom. Here it is. And there it went. And I was so mad. I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And that was it. The credits started to roll. It was frustrating. I would tell you, it was frustrating. The horror aspect of it all, it got bloody when it got bloody, but it was bloody for bloody's sake. It was the dumbest kills I've seen in a movie in a very long time. It was just senseless, stupid kills. I don't understand it. I just don't understand. It was so cheesy and this movie, this movie made no sense. It really makes no sense why it is the way it is, and it didn't have to be. I think it was trying to be artistic for art's sake. I think they were scared of the story. I think the story felt kind of basic and bland, and they didn't want to look like. And I'm just spitballing here. They could have been thinking about something completely different, but this is my feelings walking away from it. They thought that the story wasn't enough to get over, so they had to add these elements to it, with the coat and the horror that we did get. It just came off as cheesy, just to put it plainly. My biggest gripe, besides that the movie didn't work as a whole, was the fact that I'm looking at these characters and I don't know how old they are. I mean, are they now? They do display that they're clearly not high schoolers. These aren't teenage girls and all this here. They're college age or just out of college age, 24, 25, 26, somewhere up in that range, mid-20s. And I get that, but the way the movie works, they feel like teenagers. They act like teenage girls. They even talk like teenage girls. But then they'll say, "Oh yeah, in school I'm studying physics, and at college, I'm graduating with a degree and this that." But your actions dictate that you're still in the 10th grade. It's like it doesn't match what's going on. I don't know. Like I said, this movie's all over the place. I wish it was better and had the courage to fully embrace the cheese. I can live with cheesy. Hey, there are some good cheesy movies because they know what they are. They're self-aware. They know what they are, and they fully embrace that. If they would have fully embraced the cheese, once again, would have been a better movie, but it didn't. It was trying to take itself seriously at moments, and it just blew my mind. But in spite of all of that, you did have a couple of good elements about the movie. Lily Reinhardt's performance was done fairly well, and then there was a subplot in there that was fairly interesting. But overall, in its totality, I give Forbidden Fruits a letter grade of a D-. Yeah, man, I was really hoping for an average horror film. And what I got was average mediocrity instead. But I would like to know, what did you think of Forbidden Fruits? Did you like it? Did you love it? Let me know. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, don't forget about YouTube. Subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this review of Forbidden Fruits. Want you all to know that I love you, continue to love everyone, and until we speak again, you all be blessed.